Good evening and thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay Police are expanding their search area for suspects after yesterday's homicide on East Mary Street. Police are now investigating the area around Arthur and Vicker Streets.
It's the city's third murder of the year. Vasilios Bellos is following the story and joins us live now in studio with the details. Vasilios.
Thanks, Ryan. Police held a news conference this afternoon regarding the homicide, but they didn't provide information on the identity of the female victim or any possible suspects. Police did confirm the killing doesn't appear to be related to the drugs or gangs and that the victim wasn't randomly targeted. No arrests have yet been made after Tuesday's homicide at an East Mary Street residence, and police have now taken their investigation to another area of the city. Police have begun searching the area of Arthur and Vicker Streets, though they couldn't clarify what led their investigation there or name any suspects. Detective Inspector Jeremy Pearson is putting out a plea to the public for any information that could be helpful.
Anyone with surveillance cameras in that area who's not already spoken to police, anyone who may have been driving by that area between the hours of 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. on June the 27th, which was yesterday, who has dash cam or footage or may have seen something that they deem to be unusual, is asked to contact our investigators, please.
Police initially responded to the residence just before 11:30 Tuesday morning to find a woman who had died after an assault. The murder did involve a weapon, though aside from clarifying it wasn't a firearm, police provided no specifics. Pearson goes on to say the murder doesn't appear to be related to drugs or gangs, but that it still looks like a targeted killing.
I will go so far as to say that the investigation does not have us believing that this was a random act. We do not recognize or believe there to be a current public threat in relation to this incident. And beyond that, I will let the investigators do their work and we'll provide more details when we can.
The deceased female hasn't been identified by police, and a post-mortem has yet to be completed. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
One person is dead after a single vehicle crash on Highway 105 between Ear Falls and Red Lake. OPP officers were called just after 8 o'clock yesterday evening. The lone occupant of an SUV was pronounced dead at the scene. The highway was closed for several hours but reopened this morning.
The Thunder Bay District Health Unit's COVID-19 vaccine clinic at the CLE Coliseum is now closed for the summer. Today was the final day of operation and the clinic won't reopen until September. The health unit first began offering COVID vaccines at the CLE grounds in March of 2021 at the height of the pandemic. Since then, staff have also begun administering flu shots there. The closure is a result of lower traffic over the summer months. Some days as few as 50 people come through. The health unit's Laura Dennis says if anyone is still looking for vaccines at this time of year, there are other options available.
Those vaccines will continue to be available throughout the summer months at our other clinic locations, such as our main office site on Balmoral Street. We do expect that the demand for COVID-19 vaccines will decrease this summer as we see lower rates of COVID-19 infection throughout the summer months.
Dennis says other routine vaccines for kids, such as measles or polio, will be available at other health unit clinics throughout the summer as well.
It's been nearly 14 months since River Street first closed between Algoma and High Street. But now the work to replace the damaged culverts appears to be in the final stretch. Construction crews have begun the process of installing the multi-plate metal arch over McVicker Creek. Once that's completed, the contractor will fill the massive gorge with rock and gravel and then pave the roadway on top. The decision to switch from a two-culvert system to a metal arch caused the project to be delayed on numerous occasions between the fall and spring. But City Project Engineer Mike Vogrig says the work will start progressing a lot faster now that the archway is being assembled.
Footing's poured, everything's cured, and they've started assembling the culvert. Crane just got here today, so now they're dropping the assembled pieces in place and bolting them in, so they'll be doing this for the next little while. Probably said they can get about 6 to 8 sections in a day. Well, you're estimating the amount of time, so when you're compacting material, you have to come in and test it, make sure it reaches the right compaction percentage. So you know you're running small packers around these culverts, so sometimes you can get through and the material packs down really well, sometimes it takes a little bit more time.
Vogrig expects the multi-plate arches to be fully installed by mid-July, and he is optimistic that the roadway will be fully completed and open for traffic by the beginning of August.
More than $650,000 from the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund is coming to the municipality of Nebing. The grant money will help bring significant upgrades to 2 outdoor rinks. The majority of the funding, about $500,000, will go to the Blake Hall rink to replace the boards, add a concrete surface, and build a metal structure over the ice surface. Those upgrades should lengthen the skating season by up to 6 weeks and provide the community with a year-round outdoor event space. Thunder Bay Atikokan MPP Kevin Holland announced the funding and also spoke to other opportunities that could be available to the Blake Community Hall ahead of its big anniversary next summer.
As we noted here coming in, that Blake Hall is celebrating their 100th anniversary next year. So I've been talking with the community leaders here and staff and council about opportunities through NOHFC and other grants from the province to look at any other improvements they want to make here at the community hall in lead of their coming up to their 100th anniversary. So
I mean, $650,000 for a community of 2,300 people is just super. I mean, we can do wonders with that. We intend to. And like I said in my little speech there, we're going to engage the public and get people more interested in the community, hopefully, and go from there.
The rest of the grant money, just over $155,000, will pay for lighting and a concrete surface at the Alf Olson skating rink on Highway 597 in an effort to extend the skating season by 3 weeks.
First responders and the Coast Guard were called to the Mackenzie Beach area in Shunya last night after a kayaker was reported overdue on Lake Superior. OPP, Shunya Fire, and EMS were contacted at around 7 p.m. and community members in boats and jet skis were also involved in the search. The Coast Guard crew, with help from local boaters, managed to locate the male kayaker just before 9 p.m. The man was rescued successfully and returned home safe.
The local United Way launched a new-look fundraiser this afternoon. What used to be a billboard rescue has turned into the Great Lighthouse Rescue.
Representatives of local organizations voluntarily stranded themselves at the Lighthouse on Lake Superior and were rescued by members of the HMCS Griffin once they reached their fundraising goal. Mike Lang has the story.
Getting cast away at sea for a good cause was the theme of the United Way's Lighthouse Rescue. Around 100 United Way partners teamed up to get stranded at the Thunder Bay main lighthouse and were only rescued once they achieved their fundraising goal.
We were stranded at sea. Luckily, we had great supporters that donated and we were saved. So what a relief.
It's amazing to see everyone around here, and thankfully we did get rescued, or else it would be a different situation.
Thankfully, the leaks in the boat did not cause any leaks in any boats, but they represented the Northwestern Ontario Women's Centres and were among the dozen-plus other teams getting stranded for a good cause, along with the Ultimate Ducks from Our Kids Count. TBT's own Riley McManus was also a part of the rescue mission. Each team raised an average of $2,000, which went towards United Way's $75,000 goal for the Lighthouse Rescue.
Those funds are truly appreciated, very important to delivering essential community services and programs that so many people rely on. But it's also that community building. When a group of individuals and organizations come together, united with a purpose, it's incredible how much of a magnet that is.
The Lighthouse Rescue was also made possible by members of the HMCS Griffin Naval Reserve, who saw an opportunity to lend a helping hand to the community.
This is our way of being active and contributing. So we have about 75 members at Griffin that again, they all want to help. And so this is a way for us to kind of stay active and let them contribute.
Just want to thank the community for all the support today. You know, there's a lot of programs in town that need your support, so it just feels great and it's really appreciated.
As of Wednesday afternoon, the United Way surpassed their $75,000 goal, and they'll keep the donation portal open until July 1st. Brule expects the Lighthouse Rescue to take place once again for the United Way's 60th anniversary next year. Mike Lang, TBT News.
And I sure had fun out on that boat today. Well, the local St. John Ambulance announced the winners today in its 15th annual Spring into Summer trailer draw. The grand prize in this year's draw was this luxury travel trailer, or the cash equivalent of $40,000. The big prize went to Michael Iwachewski, who opted to take the cash. Second and third place prizes were 2 portable generators and a kayak. The draw helped raise roughly $55,000 for St. John's community programs. Executive Director Diana Sustawenko says it's their biggest fundraiser of the year.
Okay, well, all of the money raised stays right here in Thunder Bay, and it goes towards our community service programs. And St. John is a very busy organization. We not only teach first aid training and sell AED machines and such, but we also have a medical first response team, and that's the team that you'll see out in the community with the ambulances at all the different events. We have a therapy dog program, we have a youth group, we have a car seat education program. So it's a busy organization, and all of those programs are basically either very minimal cost or free of charge to the community.
Sustawenko says ticket sales for the fundraiser still haven't bounced back to pre-pandemic levels, but she's grateful for the support at a time when finances are tight for many in the community.